Hello everyone, welcome to Cloud Affair and this is your host Chandrima. In today's video, we are going to discuss how to get started with PowerShell quickly. PowerShell is a scripting language developed and maintained by Microsoft. You can use PowerShell to automate your Windows workloads. The latest version of PowerShell also supports Linux and Mac OS, but there are many limitations. PowerShell comes pre-installed in Windows OS, and if you have Linux or Mac OS, you can install PowerShell on it. So, without any further delay, let's get started with today's session. Launch a new PowerShell session. To launch a new PowerShell session, click on Start and type PowerShell and click on the PowerShell app. A new PowerShell session will be launched. To exit the session, you can either close the session window or type exit on the terminal. You can also start a PowerShell session from command prompt. Open a new command prompt and type PowerShell. A new PowerShell session will be started. Close the session window or type exit twice on the terminal to exit. PowerShell also provides an integrated development environment known as PowerShell ISE. You can develop and test your PowerShell scripts or execute standalone command in PowerShell ISE. To open PowerShell ISE, click on Start and type PowerShell ISE. Click on PowerShell ISE app. The upper portion is your editor where you can type your code, and the lower portion is the terminal where your code will be executed. Let me type some command and execute. Once your code is ready, you can execute your code by either pressing F5 or clicking on the play button. Type exit on the terminal. It will ask if you want to save your code. I'll close the PowerShell ISE without saving. Open a new PowerShell session. PowerShell supports all the existing DOS command, hence commands like dir, cd or pwd will still work. To navigate directory, you can use cd command. Let us navigate to C drive. To get the current working directory, you can use pwd command. To get the contents of current directory, you can use dir or get child item commandlet. To clear your PowerShell terminal screen, you can use clear command. You can use up and down arrow key to browse through previously executed commands. You can also use history command to print all the previously executed command in your current PowerShell session. Get PowerShell version. PowerShell version details are stored in system variable $ps version table. You can type $ps version table in the PowerShell terminal and hit enter to get your PowerShell version. In all the PowerShell demo, I am using PowerShell version 5.0. Commandlet in PowerShell. A commandlet is a lightweight command that is used in the PowerShell environment. Instead of writing everything by your own, you can use PowerShell provided commandlets to get your job done. And the best part is, PowerShell commandlet returns objects which you can use directly or pass them to another commandlet for further processing. To list all commandlets installed in your system, you can use get command commandlet. This will list all the commandlets, functions, alias, scripts, etc. To get help on a particular commandlet, you can use get help commandlet. For example, get help get process will return the help file for get process commandlet. Get help commandlet will list details like syntax, description, examples, etc. for the commandlet. Each commandlet also accepts some arguments which controls the commandlet behavior. For example, get help get process detailed will print the complete help file for get process commandlet. Or get help getProcess examples will print some examples on how to use getProcess commandlet, which is really helpful when you are getting started. You can also use getHelp, getProcess online to get the online documentation for the commandlet. To get details on the methods and properties available in a commandlet, you can use getMember commandlet. Methods are actions that you can perform on the commandlet output, and property are the items that the commandlet returns. Pipeline in PowerShell. Pipelines are arguably the most valuable concept used in command line interfaces. When used properly, pipelines reduce the effort of using complex commands and make it easier to see the flow of work. Each command in a pipeline passes its output item by item to the next command. Commands don't have to handle more than one item at a time. Pipelines are represented by pipe symbol. For example, we can pass the output of getCommand commandlet to whereObject commandlet using a pipeline to filter the output for only commandlets. Comment in PowerShell. A comment is a code block that does not get executed and ignored during the runtime. A comment is a way to provide additional details to your script. In PowerShell, you can use hash sign in the beginning of the line to make the line commented. For a multi-line comment, you can use hash enclosed in less than and greater than sign. Input output in PowerShell. There are multiple ways to output the data in PowerShell terminal. You can use commandlet like writeHost or writeOutput to write some output in the terminal. You can also use echo to write something on the terminal. For string data type, you can enclose the value in single or double quotes, but for number data type, no quotes are required. You can use readHost commandlet to take input from the users. Here, I am taking an input from user and saving it to a variable and finally printing the variable value on the terminal. Variables in PowerShell. The variable in a nutshell is a temporary space to store some value. In PowerShell, you can store different data types as a variable value. Variables can be user defined or system defined, and the scope of the variables can be local or global. A variable is defined as $variable name equal to variable value, and variable value can be retrieved using $variable name. PowerShell automatically assigns the data type of the variable depending upon the value assigned to a variable. Here, I am assigning an integer and a string value to a variable and then printing its value. You can use getType function to get the variable type. Conditions in PowerShell. You can use conditions in PowerShell for decision making. In PowerShell, we mainly use the if conditional statement for decision making. PowerShell supports if else, and if else conditional statements. Apart from if, the switch statement can also be used as a conditional statement. Here, we are comparing the values of two variables and then printing the variable with highest value. You can combine multiple statements in a single line using a semicolon in PowerShell. Loops in PowerShell. A loop in a nutshell is a way to repeat a command or statement until a certain condition is met. PowerShell supports for each, while, and do until loops. Here we are printing values from 1 to 5 using a for loop. Array and hash table in PowerShell. An array is a data structure consisting of a collection of elements, each identified by at least one array index or key. An array is stored such that the position of each element can be computed from its index tuple. The simplest type of data structure is a linear array, also known as one-dimensional array. A hash table, also known as a dictionary or associative array, is a compact data structure that stores one or more key value pairs. Here, we are initializing an array and then printing its value. You can get a specific array element using its index. An array index always starts with 0 and is incremented by 1 for each new element. Next, we are initializing a hash table with two key value pairs and printing its value. You can also print only the keys or values. Functions in PowerShell. A function is, in a nutshell, grouping of multiple commands together that can be reused. The main benefit of the function is its reusability. You have to write the function only once and then you can reuse it as many times as you wish. Here we are creating a simple function which prints hello world when invoked. That's all for today's session. I hope you have enjoyed the session and will subscribe to our channel. We will explore each of the topics covered in today's session in separate videos. Thanks for watching.